The billionaire slammed his glass onto the table so hard that everyone in the luxury restaurant fell silent. "Throw this filthy old man out before he infects the whole place." Security grabbed the ragged stranger by the arms, but the old man never resisted. Instead, he looked straight at the billionaire's wife and calmly said, "If you let them drag me away, you'll be dead before sunrise." Every fork froze in midair. The woman, pale and trapped in a wheelchair for 4 years, stared into the stranger's eyes. He continued, "I don't want your money. Give me 7 days of meals, and I'll give you back your legs." Laughter erupted across the restaurant, yet the woman didn't laugh. Something in his voice felt terrifyingly familiar. The billionaire smirked. "The best doctors in the world failed. What makes a beggar think he can succeed?" The old man smiled faintly. "Because your wife isn't paralyzed. She's being poisoned a little more every single day." The room turned ice cold. Even the family doctor standing nearby lost the color from his face. Before anyone could speak, the old man whispered one final sentence that changed everything. "And the person poisoning her is standing in this room." The restaurant fell into complete silence. The billionaire's smile disappeared as he stepped closer. "You have 10 seconds to prove you aren't insane." The old man ignored him and focused only on the woman. "Every morning you wake up with a bitter metallic taste in your mouth. By evening your ankles swell, then the swelling disappears overnight. Your fingers sometimes go numb, but your medical reports always come back normal. Isn't that true?" The woman's face turned white. She slowly nodded. "I've never told anyone about the taste. Not even my husband." The family doctor suddenly interrupted, forcing a laugh. "These are common side effects. He's making wild guesses." The old man turned toward him with calm eyes. "Then explain why you've been prescribing a medicine that doesn't exist in any registered medical database." The doctor's hands trembled for the first time. The billionaire noticed it instantly. "What medicine is he talking about?" Before the doctor could answer, the old man reached into his torn coat and placed a faded photograph on the table. The woman gasped the moment she saw it, because the little girl in the picture looked exactly like her. The billionaire picked up the faded photograph with shaking hands. A young woman smiled while holding a newborn wrapped in a white blanket. On the back, a sentence was written in fading ink. "No matter how far they take you, my love will always find you." The woman in the wheelchair couldn't breathe. "Why does this baby look exactly like me?" she whispered. Before the old man could answer, the family doctor snatched the photograph and laughed. "An old picture proves nothing. This con artist is manipulating you." The old man stepped forward. "Then let the truth speak. Stop every pill you've been giving her for just 72 hours. If her condition gets worse, I'll surrender to the police myself. But if she gets stronger, everyone in this room will know who the real criminal is." The billionaire hesitated. 4 years of expensive treatments had changed nothing. For the first time, doubt entered his mind. He looked at his wife, whose eyes silently begged him to take the risk. After a long pause, he made his decision. "From this moment, she takes none of the doctor's medicine." The doctor's face instantly drained of color, and before anyone noticed, he secretly sent a single text message. "He knows. Finish it tonight." That night, the mansion felt strangely quiet. Security cameras covered every hallway, yet the old man refused to sleep. When desperate people realize their secret is exposed, he told the billionaire, they stop hiding and start making mistakes. Around 2:30 a.m., he noticed a faint shadow moving toward the woman's bedroom. It was the family doctor, wearing gloves and carrying a small medical case. He quietly unlocked the door and pulled out a syringe filled with a clear liquid. Before the needle reached her arm, the lights suddenly turned on. "Don't move!" the old man shouted. The billionaire rushed in with security guards behind him. The doctor froze. I was only giving her an emergency injection." The old man calmly took the syringe and held it toward the light. "Interesting. Because your patient was never prescribed an injection for tonight. The billionaire's face darkened. Then what exactly is inside that syringe? The doctor tried to grab it back, but security restrained him. Just then, the old man's phone vibrated. The laboratory had finished testing the woman's medicine. He opened the report, looked at the billionaire, and whispered, "This isn't medicine, it's slow poison." And the report also reveals who ordered it. The laboratory report hit the table like a bomb. The billionaire read the first line twice before his hands began to shake. The pills contained a rare toxic compound that slowly damaged the nervous system while leaving almost no trace during routine medical tests. "Who ordered this?" he demanded. The old man pointed to the final page. "The payments didn't come from the doctor. They came from someone inside your own family." Before anyone could react, the mansion's power suddenly went out. Every hallway disappeared into darkness. Then a gunshot echoed through the house. Security rushed toward the sound and found the family doctor lying on the floor, wounded but alive. With his last strength, he grabbed the billionaire's sleeve and whispered, "I never created the plan. I only followed orders." "Whose orders?" the billionaire shouted. The doctor raised a trembling finger toward the grand staircase. A figure was standing there, watching everyone in silence before disappearing into the darkness. The old man's face turned pale. "No," he murmured. "I prayed I was wrong." The billionaire stared at him in confusion. "You know who that was?" The old man closed his eyes for a second and replied, "Yes, because 20 years ago, that same person destroyed my family before coming for yours." The billionaire followed the old man's trembling gaze toward the empty staircase. "Tell me the truth," he demanded. The old man took a slow breath. 20 years ago, I was one of the country's most respected toxicologists. I exposed a secret network that poisoned wealthy families to steal fortunes through fake illnesses. Before I could testify, they burned my laboratory, murdered my wife, and kidnapped my little daughter. Everyone believed I died in the fire. The woman in the wheelchair stared at him in disbelief. "Your daughter? Did you ever find her?" Tears filled the old man's eyes. "No. I searched every city until I became nothing more than a homeless stranger." At that moment, a detective rushed into the room holding an old adoption file recovered from the mansion's hidden safe. Inside was a birth certificate with the woman's photograph attached. The billionaire unfolded the final page, and his heart nearly stopped. The father's name matched the old man's exactly. The woman covered her mouth as tears streamed down her face. "No, this can't be true," the old man whispered. "I'm not here because of the poison. I'm here because you're my daughter." The room stood frozen. The woman slowly reached for the old man's hand, unable to stop her tears. Before anyone could speak, police officers rushed inside with the detective. "It's over," the detective announced. "We recovered hidden recordings from the mansion's private vault." Everyone watched as the footage played on a large screen. The family's powerful patriarch was seen ordering the doctor to poison the young woman for years so she would remain weak, isolated, and unable to claim the fortune left in her real parents' name. Every lie, every payment, and every secret was captured on video. The billionaire turned toward the man he had trusted all his life with eyes filled with rage. "You destroyed innocent lives just for money." Seconds later, officers placed the old patriarch in handcuffs. The woman stood up from her wheelchair without help and walked slowly toward the homeless stranger. She wrapped her arms around him and whispered, "I searched for a family my whole life, never knowing my father was searching for me too." The billionaire lowered his head in shame before extending his hand. "Forgive me." The old man smiled through his tears. "Justice always arrives, even when it takes years to find the right door."